Okay, this is our first basketball meeting for the second semester, and we have Coach Smith taking notes. Coach Fortier and Coach Johnson are also present. Coach Holloway, who is our head golf coach, is also participating. Thank you all for being at the meeting. This meeting is set so that we can review a couple of items just so that we can be prepared not only for the rest of the games, but we want to prepare for our next steps as far as a transition into the playoffs, and then also looking at training opportunities and moving into the high school for the 8th graders or for summer training for our other kids. That will only be a brief part of what we're talking about at the end. First of all, each and every student athlete and parent needs to review and sign the handbook by this Thursday. Coach will be giving all of the handbooks out, and they need to be signed by this Thursday. If they're not signed, they won't play. Okay, and that outlines all of our expectations, which I will review briefly during this meeting. Second item, I'm doing a great grade check. I've been doing it today, and I will conclude by tonight. If any student athlete has a D, they will participate in tutoring in order to continue playing. If they have an F, they'll be suspended until that F comes up to a D. And that is per the handbook. Also, it's coming from administration. There are a couple things that I want to go over with the entire basketball family. And these are expectations that we all are going to deal with for the rest of the year and moving forward. First of all, the athletic director and also the administration have high expectations for our student athletes. And these are basically our school expectations, the behavioral, the academic, the punctuality, the responsibility, all of the things that we're expecting student athletes to do. We're going to emphasize that for the rest of the season and the school year. Parents, we are asking that your expectation of your student athlete at home match what we're expecting for them, and that's to be student athletes and more importantly, to represent your family. Student athletes, your individual expectation or your personal expectations should be just as high as all of the expectations that parents have and also the administration. So we want some ownership from student athletes. You guys are being asked to step up your game, and we're going to help you to do that through the rest of the school year. So at this point, I want to go through the expectations of the student athlete, the expectation for the parents, and also just to take a couple minutes to answer any questions that any parents or coaches may have or student athletes may have. First of all, student expectations. Each student athlete will create a portfolio, and this portfolio doesn't cost anything. We'll outline all the things that they need to document in this portfolio. In the portfolio, we're requiring that each person sets goals. We've talked about this previously, but now we're going to make sure and follow through to make sure that each student athlete sets a goal. That includes managers and anybody involved with the team. Those goals will be educational goals, interpersonal behavior goals, and also extracurricular activity goals. And those extracurricular activities can be art-based and also athletic-based. So we'll document all of those things in the portfolio. Each student athlete is required to do at least one volunteer activity during the season or shortly afterwards. You have to do one volunteer activity. Next, each student athlete will participate in character development / leadership development training that we're going to provide through the student athlete playbook. And we'll talk more about that, but each student athlete is encouraged to do this. Also, each student athlete is going to be encouraged to create a business. We will help to set up those businesses and also to document that in the portfolio as well. That outlines the student athlete expectations. Parent expectations. First of all, we're asking that parents that you support all that we're doing. And when I say support, we've got a lot of feedback of individuals being critical of the coaching staff, being critical of their student athletes, and being critical of the program in general. We're asking that you be supportive of all that we're doing. And if there's some constructive criticism, of course, we're always open for that. But we want you to be in a role of support. That support also goes to helping the student athlete to create a portfolio, which we're going to outline everything. We just basically need you to monitor it, to ask each student athlete about their goals, have them to verbally tell you about each one of those goals. If it's not every day, at least 3 or 4 times a week, they should be telling someone every day about those goals. Also, we need you to support by helping them to create their business. And we're going to talk to them about it, but we'd like for you to also help by supporting to help them to create a business. It could be something that they've already started. They could be doing it with you. But in turn, we need for you to help them to create the business. Now, these are the things that we've outlined. I've talked to administration about some of the things that have happened last semester. We've had minimal amount of behavior problems and minimal amount of academic problems, but I want us to continue to focus the rest of the school year because all we have is all we have. We want everyone to be on the same sheet of music and ready to go for the rest of the year. So at this time, I'd like to also share that all of our uniforms, with the exception of the backpacks, have arrived. I did take a picture and put it in the chat. They look very nice. And Coach, I guess we'll pass them out before the game tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Okay, they'll have, we're going with black tomorrow, Coach said. So they'll have their nice black uniforms on tomorrow. And we're looking forward to a great game. Coach, do you have anything else to add to this that I've said already?
No, sir.
Okay, parents, again, we will give you the outline of all these expectations. And also, if you know someone who missed the meeting, we'll provide this recording to them so that they can have this just to reflect on what we've talked about. Parents, at this time, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask about? We'll be sending the schedule out again because I know some people may have misplaced their schedule, but we'll put it in the chat and also print out a hard copy so that you can put it on your refrigerator to keep track. Any questions from anyone?
I just have a suggestion and a question. This is Cayenne's mom.
Yes, ma'am.
If we can do better with the communication when the kids is out of school as far as transportation for the practice, because out of fairness, it needs to be spoken to the parents ahead of time, especially those that work, so that we can make proper arrangements.
Yes, ma'am. So with off-season practices, We understand that parents have to work, and sometimes it's very difficult for kids to get to the practice. Coach was just offering that opportunity for kids to be able to come and practice if they're able to make it. And we do understand that, there's circumstances that prevent you from being able to get your kid there sometime. They're not penalized from that. It was just an opportunity that we were providing. And also we didn't know the exact schedule, so we couldn't put it out there in advance. We had to go by the seat of our pants because we didn't know what the schedule was that we'd be able to use the gym. If that's clear.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying for future, if you all know ahead of time from day to day, if y'all could just let us know early enough so that we can make the proper arrangements.
Yes, ma'am. We may not have many other opportunities for the rest of the year to have any other practices other than what we'll have at the school and the game, because we're rocking and rolling the rest of the season. But thank you. Any other questions or comments?
I have a question about the snack schedule we sent out, that we sent out. Can you give a time frame for the pregame meal?
Okay, all pregame meals, we're asking that they're brought to the school by 3:30. Kids get out at 4 o'clock. We want to try to have it arranged so that they can eat right about that time. So 3:30 is the time that we've asked.
Okay, and is there a way to post that schedule again so we can sign up accordingly?
Yes, ma'am. We'll put it up again so that we can get any kind of volunteer meals as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Our season again is in the second phase. We have games, we'll have 3 games a week, culminating with a home game at Morrow High School. And we'll also be going to have a game at the Ron Clark Academy, which is always a treat. We're looking forward to a great rest of the season. Coach, do you want to say anything about the rest of the season?
Well, Happy New Year's to everyone. As far as the season is concerned, I'm very excited and ecstatic that we have a great group of kids that are student athletes who love the game of basketball and they're willing to compete. So far, I've coached 11 games so far, Utopian. In every game, these kids have fought their best. They tried their hardest and scrapped to try to win the game. And I'm so proud of them just to be in the presence of a group of kids that just love the game and just try so hard. We're the only team that plays all away games in Clayton County. And every time we get a chance, the refs do not cut us no slack, and these kids continue to fight and stay positive and try to win the game. And I'm just so ecstatic about this group of kids. And already they have the best record in school history, and we're hoping to break it and win a championship this year. I think we have enough talent this year to win a championship, but it just takes a whole team to everyone to chip in and be on the same page. And I think we're moving in the right direction to do that. Just trust the process. We've added a few more pieces. And I think that now that the kids have new jerseys now, it's a new year. They'll be able to look good, play good, feel good, and just all on the up and up from this point on to the end of the season. I would say that we're basically in the third quarter of the game, about 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and the fourth quarter is about to start, and that's the playoffs. It's one game elimination, and we just got to bring it and let the best team win. I think that we have a lot of talent, but a lot of times when we do lose games, we basically are beating ourselves. And I think in the new year, once we learn from our mistakes, which I know we will be moving in the right direction where we see Utopia, not just this year, but for years to come as a program.
Thanks, Coach. I couldn't agree any more with what you've said about the heart of our team. We have the heads and the heart of a championship team. And also at that head, we have the coaching staff that is very, very into the kids. It's not just about wins and losses. They're talking about these student athletes and the kids, and they want the best for them. So that's why I want to make sure that you as parents knew the level of coaching that you're getting and the care that's shown by our coaching staff. Kudos to you guys, and we're looking forward to big things. Parents, I want to let you know that tell all of your family members, your neighbors, and everyone that when we have games, you guys want to show up early because Utopian has a big following and we pack the gym out. So we want everybody to start showing up on Eagle time. That means early for the games because it's going to get packed. And when it gets too packed, they'll start turning people away. So let's get in the habit of showing up early and showing out and within reason. Let's have a great rest of the season. And if there's no other questions, we're going to go ahead and end this meeting. I don't believe in just meeting just to meet. Anyone else have anything for the good of the order? Okay, thank you very much for participating, all of you. I will try to put this recording in the chat so that if anybody missed it, they can have this later on.